Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, November 17th, 2017. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Markdown Manager. Can we trade? A little bit about Mecari, and a lot about your comments and concerns from last week's video. So let's jump right into it and get started. First, we'll discuss your comments, questions, and concerns from last week. On sales, St. Paul MN seller wrote, Joe, Monday, November the 6th was still rocking, but then yes, you did it to me again Tuesday through Saturday. November 11th was just one sale per day. Do not have many $50 or more items like you do, which would have been tolerable with one sale per day situation. Not having the kick butt sales I had last year around this time though, year in. So yeah, we had our inverse sales pattern again, sir. So I guess this week you were booming because I was a lot slower this week. But we'll talk about that shortly. Robert Keyser also wrote in on sales. He wrote, I've been studying why sales are down, and I think I have found a number of reasons. The visibility we used to have a year ago has been lowered since the rollout of promoted listings and guaranteed 3-day delivery. So when first eBay offered 30-day returns, if you opted in, you were promised a boost in search and 20% discounted eBay final value fees. In 2017, the discount was lowered to 10%. Around the same time, promoted listings came out with the pitch, 30% increased visibility. Since then, my sales have been 30 to 40% down. He also wrote, eBay eliminated the Ask Seller a Question link that was at the bottom left below the description. For a short while, it was moved to the seller information box, top right corner, but that is gone along with the contact seller link. eBay has not updated the help page, and it still says to contact the seller before you buy any item, go to the listing, and select Ask a Question. So if I can't ask you a question, Joe, that's why I just go ahead and buy the wrong item, because I know eBay will give me a full refund. That's something we are going to talk about maybe in a future video, the layout of eBay listings as it is today, nearing the end of 2017. Item specifics. Brad R. Pickens wrote, Joe, wouldn't it be nice if eBay required country of manufacture for listings? Help us sort out the world of fakes and imported crap. On eBay Motors, they already have such a thing. They have a drop-down menu where you enter the country of manufacture. It's especially helpful with the global shipping program, but it is not helpful with weeding out the cheap China crap. It hasn't helped me one bit. On the shoes listing last week, Stephen Bond wrote, I don't see a problem with the shoes or underwear fetish. eBay allows material relating to other non-standard sexual practices on the site. I think it should be moved to the adult listings. Also on the shoes, Mike M. wrote, if eBay were smart, they would allow the fetish stuff and simply designate a specific place in the adult category. If they start eliminating all fetish listings, there will be some huge product gaps, and frankly, I don't think, strike that, I know from experience that those pimply-faced, wet-behind-the-ears kids at eBay can begin to imagine what ones they are. Why not make money off it for themselves and the sellers? Just be sure to hide it from the kids. Cuckoo could chew, Mrs. Robinson. That seems to be the basic thought of most of you guys, is that these things should be allowed and moved to the adult listing site on eBay. And I have no problem with that, because like the old saying goes, there is an ass for every seat. No pun intended. Moving on defects. 5797029 wrote, great video, Joe. I am still getting hit with shipping defects. Most are for no acceptance scan. I watch each item get scanned and have a receipt in my hand, but none of this makes any difference with eBay. I usually get 2 to 10 each month. One was a combined shipment that had 2 taillights in one box. I got 2 defects on that one. A buyer in Hawaii opened a case yesterday for not receiving his taillight. This one was one that didn't show an acceptance scan. The tracking showed it took 24 days to get to Hawaii, and then the mail carrier couldn't find the address and took it back to the post office. This was November 7th. The last scan in Hawaii was returned to sender. The package arrived at my door today, November 10th. The carrier demanded $16 for postage due for return shipping. This was shipped ground. Why did it take 24 days going to Hawaii and only 3 days to get back to my door? eBay expects us to trust guaranteed delivery? The last specialist I spoke to said it was my fault when these shipping issues happened because I chose the USPS and I should find another way to ship. What? Mike. You know, I really count myself lucky in this respect because I'm really having no shipping defects at all. When I go to the post office every day, they always scan my items, and my scans have always showed up. My tracking rate right now is about 99.40%. That's off the top of my head, I think. So I'm very lucky, but I do know some of you guys are having issues like this. And I can only suggest you contact eBay for Business, and maybe they can help you. But if this problem continues to manifest itself as it seems to have been, we're going to have to look into this further. The last comment was by Donnie Snitz, and it consisted of 2 words: Mecari sucks. For that reason, I decided to talk a little bit about Mecari today, which is really not what I do because I'm usually the eBay guy. But I myself had a bad experience with Mecari, so I agree with Donnie Snitz. Mecari sucks. I'll even go further and say Mecari blows. I'm interested if any of you guys have ever had any issues on Mecari. I only did 1 transaction on Mecari and it was a fail, and I was the buyer. A lady had a set of hubs listed for $50. This was last year, by the way. And I knew by looking at what she had, I could buy them and flip them and make some nice coin, which is what I do on eBay and which is what I love to do. I love to flip items and then add money on as much as I possibly can and resell them. And I make money doing that. So this lady had this set of hubs for 50 bucks. Okay? I bought them and I won them. A day goes by and she writes to me and says, I will be shipping these out to you tomorrow. Okay. 3 hours later, I get a notice from Mecari. The seller has refunded your money and canceled the deal. What the Christ? She just told me she was going to ship them to me, and now she's canceling the deal? So, when a seller cancels a deal on Mecari, there is no way to leave them feedback of any kind, no matter what the reason. So I contacted Mecari, and I said, hey, what gives here? Because I figured it was a tightly run ship like eBay. And Mecari wrote back to me and said, listen, nothing is binding on this site. Sellers are not required to sell you any items you win. Can you believe that? Holy Christ, I was so pissed off last year that I was this close, I swear it, to doing a Mecari sucks rant video. But since none of you guys ever mentioned Mecari, I didn't think many of you would know about it. So I agree with Donnie Snitz. Mecari sucks. Do not do business on Mecari, in my opinion. If you guys are having success with it, hey, that's your business. I always say you do what works for you, but I'm telling you, I got screwed. Let us now talk about 2 more topics: the new Markdown Manager and Trade Me. Trade Me is something I've talked to you about a few times before that really irritates me. It's more of a local problem than an eBay problem. However, last night it happened to me on eBay, where a person contacted me through eBay and said something to the effect like, you have 4 Chevy hubs for sale. I have 4 Buick hubs I don't need. Would you want to trade me? Guys, is it just me? Is it? I swear, I really think that this is confined to eBay Motors. So if any of you guys ever get any people wanting to trade, I would like to hear about that below. D. Kelly, especially you, because I know you're in eBay Motors too. I want to know what you got to say about this. This is a very big problem for me locally, where people will come in and say, I bought this hub on Amazon or elsewhere, and they expect me to trade it. And they get pissed off when I say no. I'm not taking somebody else's crap. I say, you got some pair of balls swinging there, bro. Coming and asking me that. And they'll say something like, well, I'm not going to come back here anymore. And I'll say, what do you mean come back? You never came here in the first place. You bought the stupid thing on Amazon. I will never trade. Another interesting thing that happened to me years ago, and this is one that I'm still scratching my head to this day, and it literally happened 10 years ago. This is local. A guy came in and he wants to buy a hub. I had the right one. I said, it's $25. He says, no, I'll give you 15. I can get it on eBay for 15. I said, that doesn't sound right. The shipping alone is going to cost almost that. He said, yes, the shipping is 10, 15 for the hub. I said, well, wait a minute. 15 plus 10 is 25, right? That's what you're paying here. He goes, no, I'm paying 15 on eBay. I said, what about the shipping? That's 10. You're still paying 25. He could not rationalize that. He would not pay me the $25. He insisted on 15. I said, no, I'm going to hold out on this one. You're not getting it for $15. And out he walked. Either way, he was going to spend $25. Whether it was with me, where he could see what he was getting, he knew it was a good piece, or take a chance, but he's still spending $25. That's one guy that baffles me to this day. I'll never understand that. If he would have said, like, you know, it's 15 and 10, I'll give you 20, I probably would have done it. But because his logic just rubbed me the wrong way, so he went out without a hub. And that was about 10 years ago. But that's one that stays in my mind for a long time. People can really be cheap with their cars, guys, I'm telling you. Anything automotive, people are really cheap with. The new Markdown Manager. I've been talking about this for several weeks, and I finally got a chance to implement the new Markdown Manager. I had heard from some of you folks that you felt it was a little bit tedious and difficult to use. But I am happy to report I found it quite simple and streamlined. There are even some positives, and maybe one or two negatives, of course. One of the big positives with the new Markdown Manager is you can set your sale to start immediately. Previously, you could not do that with the old one. They have it set for Pacific time, so I'd have to mentally change 3 hours from the Pacific time, because I run ahead 3 hours here on the East Coast. And I'd have to figure it down to the minute, depending what time I was running the sale. There was no way to actually start it immediately, but now there is, and that's good news. One of the limitations of the new Markdown Manager is the fact that each campaign can only encompass 500 listings. So what I did was I ran campaign number 1 and I checked off my first 500 listings and ran a straight 15% off sale. I then started campaign 2 for my next 500 listings, and for those I did a straight 10% off sale. For the remaining 300 or so listings, I'm running no sale. And I want to see if there's an appreciable difference in sales between my no sale items, my 10%, and my 15% off. And I'll report to you next week or in about 2 weeks and let you know how that's going. As far as sales themselves are concerned, this week has been a lot slower than normal. I am one of the people that likes to look at all the positive things about eBay, the upsides, but I'm telling you guys, I've noticed an appreciable difference this week. It's been a lot slower. I don't blame eBay, I don't blame glitches. You know what I blame? One thing. Anybody want to guess what I blame? Come on, you know it. Bingo! that dreaded holiday that's coming up next week. That is going to totally put sales in the dumper. Normally it doesn't start till actually a day or two before, but I guess this time it started over a week before. But next week's going to be trouble, guys. You got to deal with Thanksgiving on Thursday, which is a guaranteed kiss of death for online sales. Guaranteed. And a double feature. The day after is Black Friday, and that's a day that people traditionally go to the malls and look for sales. Another kiss of death day. So that's 2 winners in a row we're going to have to deal with, plus all the overflow. So I'm warning you guys, don't be surprised if it's slow from now for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. This is something that does happen every year, although it doesn't usually start this early. So guys, when you get a chance, would you tell me how your sales were this week? Did you notice a big slowdown? I think every one of you will, except for St. Paul MN Seller, who runs on the opposite track that I run on, so he's probably booming as we speak. And what else? Yes, one other weird thing. One of you guys had sent me a listing to look at about a toy monkey, and I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. You emailed me through my Crazy New York Driver at AOL.com site, and you asked me to look at this monkey. I think it was made in China by a China seller. It was being sold. And what's weird about it is all I did was look at that listing. I did not put it in my watch list or anything. I looked at it for a few minutes and I went about my business and I responded to you. So on Wednesday night, I got a notification on my iPhone. You know the weird piano music you get when something is going on eBay? And it said, an item you are interested in is ending in 5 minutes. And it was that stupid monkey. Why did that happen? Has that happened to any of you guys? I really didn't show any interest in this listing at all. I just looked at it. And I got a notification on my iPhone saying that this toy monkey was ending in 5 minutes. And I was like, what? Is that something experimental? Have any of you guys gotten that this week? If so, please tell me about that below. So guys, the very next thing I want to do is take a drink. I'm so thirsty. This is the cup of life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Also, before I let you go, guys, it has been cloudy and rainy the entire week. We had only one day of filtered sun. That was last Sunday. But as you can see, it's still cloudy with no end in sight. And they're saying more rain coming. All right, let's do a quick rehash and I'll let you guys go. Any comments you have about the new Markdown Manager? If you've tried it and you like it or don't like it, comment below. If you've been burned or not on Mecari, I'd like to hear about that. Donnie Snitz, could you tell us what happened to you? I'd like to know a little bit more about your story. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns eBay related, the field is open to you. Guys, I come out here every week and I make these videos to try and help you. If you think I'm doing a good job, please give me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on the right track. If not, tell me what you want me to cover next week and I'll be happy to address it. I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching. Go out there and make some killer sales this week. I hope you all nail it. Rock on and peace! Yeah!